Hello and welcome to 5 Minute Magic from Creativity for Sale podcast, a quick fire episode sharing tips and tricks from the pages of the book of the same title. Yes, Creativity for Sale. Every week I'll be sharing 1 or 2 ideas that could give you an actionable takeaway for your creative career, your business, or just a food for thought for the weekend ahead. These tips are taken from the audiobook and you can find a link to the full version in the show notes. In the last of 3 episodes on clients, we dive deep into the crucial phase of delivering creative work. We'll explore strategies for balancing ambitions with reality, overcoming creative blocks, and managing client expectations. This episode should be worth just for that point alone. Learn how to avoid scope creep, communicate effectively, and deliver quality work on time. We'll discuss the importance of reliability, honesty, and attention to detail in building strong client relationships.
Congrats, you got the work. It might feel like the pitching or negotiation process was hard work, but now the real work begins. The following pointers will make the process of actually doing the work as smooth and satisfying as possible, and keep the extra admin to a minimum. Being ambitious but realistic. Not every client will want to reinvent the wheel right away, but a great collaboration starts when you're both looking to the future and feel that anything could be possible. Being ambitious while remaining realistic brings an energy to the project that can drive progress. Being realistic means starting the project with a clear brief and defined deliverables. Always outline your process to show how you can deliver what's agreed. Getting unstuck. We all get stuck from time to time, but creative block is often rooted in far less lofty and more practical shortcomings than we might expect. It can be down to an overwhelming number of available options that need filtering down to one idea. It can be bad planning or no understanding of what we need to do due to a poor brief from the client. It can be a lack of collaborators to help you with the project. It can be a fear of actually getting started. As you become experienced, you'll find that these blockages occur far less frequently. But in the meantime, if you find yourself blocked, take a break and ask yourself what the actual problem is. Talk it through with someone else to the solution. If you want more tips on this topic, check out my other book, Mindful Creative. Avoiding the awkward preview. A new client often wants to see something fairly quickly. You have your methods, processes, and timings, yet sometimes you might get asked if you can share previews early. Naturally, that probably means sending work that isn't ready for other eyes. The result? The client sees the preview and prematurely worries about your ability to do the job well. Even if you warned them that the work wasn't ready and they didn't listen. In these situations, it's important to politely push back, stand your ground, and maintain your integrity to your craft. This alone should prove your dedication to, and ability within, your craft. And to avoid being asked for early previews, always negotiate a realistic timeline that gives you enough time to do your best work away from impatient, prying eyes. Knowing your limits. Even the most experienced multidisciplinary creative will burn out if they have to do the work of an entire team. It might feel rewarding to deliver every part of the work, and clients often want to cut corners by scrimping on budget and not hiring as many people as they should. But the hours and effort will see you run out of steam, too exhausted to even think about the project anymore. So, make sure you have the right resources in place for the job at hand. Keeping the client in the loop. There's 1 or 2 or 22 clues in this book that I don't like long emails. I see emails as a doorbell, a signal that someone is there, not a place to spend hours on nuanced notes that only end up being misunderstood or staying unread. Instead, before you send a piece of work to the client, record a video of yourself with a quick narration of what's been done, how it works, and what is still outstanding. Then include any questions you need answers to. Loom is great software for this. Doing so will save you endless hours and speed up your workflow. Though, keep a written note of any important points so they're easily found when searching later. Also, bear in mind that everyone is different, and you might find that your client doesn't like videos or would prefer to communicate via email for the most part. Ideally, you should discuss your communication preferences and strive to find a harmonious balance that works for both of you. Moving the goalposts. Even a well-defined project can deviate from the original brief or balloon in size if the client keeps asking for extra deliverables resulting in extra hours. You might feel obliged to do the extra work, and you might feel it will make your project look more accomplished. But this can easily slip into spending every waking hour working on a project that doesn't pay anymore. My own horror story is a 4-hour phone call for a logo project that earned me next to nothing. Keep an eye on the scope and be vocal about it if things creep, which is why a lot of creative contracts have a clause for scope creep. Unless the client has long-term value and is worth going the extra mile for. Clients can become friends, and they can also become exceptional time thieves. Being reliable every time. No matter how good you are, how great your ideas might be, or how well you can use your creative software, if you don't deliver the right stuff on time and every time, that client probably won't bother contacting you again. As I said before, reliability is the key to long-term success. Clients like freelancers who are keen, but this can mean nothing if they don't stick to their timelines and deadlines. If the timelines are slipping, speak up. Be honest with the client about where you're at with the work. Admit any issues you're facing and explain why the original timescales are delayed. People will understand if, and only if, you're upfront and honest. I get it. Long projects can become miserable, and you can sometimes spend what feels like a lifetime working on some projects, wading through treacle. When you're stuck in the middle of it with no end in sight, it's easy to let it consume you. But if it gets too much, speak up, be honest and upfront, and ask for some extra time to give you some breathing space. Delivering the right goods. This might sound obvious, but double check the project brief before submitting the work to ensure that everything is being delivered in the correct format and size and in the right place. If you provide a download link for the client, test the link first and make sure the work is correctly labelled and organised in the right folders. Creative projects can take a lot out of you, even the ones that go really well. But don't take your eye off the ball at the last moment before delivery. Asking for feedback. When everything goes well, it's the stuff dreams are made of. When you fall short, it's often tempting to write off a project due to reasons you consider to be outside your control. Instead, you should ask the client for performance feedback regardless of the outcome. Always find out how your business is working from the point of view of your clients, as they might just know you better than you know yourself, and give you helpful pointers to get better or even better. Putting your soul into what you do. Anyone who cares about their work will feel a sense of attachment to the results. But great work doesn't happen by accident. It's a process that should be nurtured from start to finish. By contrast, if you rush your work, people will see through it. If you bullshit your ideas, people will see through it. If you cut corners or don't understand the scope, people will see through it. If you're in it for the money, people will see through it. But if you do your work for the right reasons, put your soul into what you do, and make your creativity the thing you stand for, then people will appreciate it and stick around for more. All of your efforts in building your brand of creativity and business are made worthwhile with every project that you deliver well. The circle is completed. Alone, we can do so little. Together, we can do so much. Helen Keller.